Hi guys, and welcome back to Fallout 76, and today we're doing the last of the Brotherhood quest chain. It's called Belly of the Beast. So, when you're assigned this quest, you want to go to your radio and you want to tune into Brotherhood Emergency Transponder. Then you're going to get this area on your map. It's the area we're heading to now, and in the top left of my screen, you'll see that there's a transponder strength, and we're trying to run towards that. So there's the circle, and we're trying to get up towards 100, I guess. So that's the plan. Now, originally I wanted to do this mission solo, but some friends told me, oh, you know, Digi, you're like level 35. This is a very difficult quest. They were right. I needed to level. I would recommend level 45, 50-ish if you're coming in here. Definitely recommend doing it with friends. It's fun, although it's very achievable solo as well. And I'm going to show you that during this video. When we get to the more difficult part, which is a cave full of Scorched and a Scorched Beast boss and whatnot, I'm actually going to cut away from this gameplay and I'm going to show you a run I did solo for two reasons. One, of course, being to show you that it can be done and to give you directions. And two, it adds a lot of clarity. So, we've made our way here. We're going to play this transmission. You find these little bases like the one here. You pretty much just wander around inside the circle and you get it up to about, well, what do we get it at? 98.53. And you see this little thing standing here, transponder. We're at transponder JZ3. And you replay its last transmission. The most important thing to do before you leave the transponder is to sync the transponder. On the PlayStation, it's the square button. So whatever button that would typically be for your console. And when you synchronize with the transponder, you see the transponder signal strength goes back to 0, and now we have a new area to move to. So far it's not been too bad for us, for the three of us. We encountered some robots coming through there, few little beasts, nothing too much. Now as you progress, it does get increasingly difficult. The three of us are all over level 60, so we've taken our time on this quest to down absolutely everything that came on us, with exception of Scorched Beasts, because those are just time consuming right now in this game. They're complete sponges for very little, if sometimes any, reward. But everything else, yeah, we took our time and we explored. I'm going to be bypassing that, of course, to try and get the video down to something more bite-sized chunks, shall we say. Skipped a few battles there, you might have noticed. Again, we're just going through Robotown, so we've got some robots. We have an Assaultron over there. But the thing is, you don't have to fight any of this. As I'm going to demonstrate in a while when I enter the cave, this is all skippable. All you need to do is get from transponder to transponder to transponder. We can ignore that mission mark there. It's got nothing to do with what I'm doing. A miscellaneous quest has just come up to clear out these centers. I'm ignoring those and I'm watching the transponder strength. 68.67. We have a feeling we're going in roughly the right direction. And we definitely are. 91, we come to another transponder. I'll let this one play. Alright, so I can't forget to synchronize to the transponder, otherwise you just end up running off and eventually you look at your signal strength, it brings you right back here again. You have to remember to synchronize. So, we're going to push on to the next location, and again, this is up to the second one now. Nothing too difficult, even if I was doing this solo at 50. Oh, we're going to grab this fusion core, of course. I do love myself a fusion core. Not getting an option there seemed glitchy. I'm going to jump back in again and grab it. I don't need any T45. I have those two pieces for a separate set. Whew. Pushing forward again. What are we up against? More Protectrons and whatnot. We've ignored the Assaultron behind us. We ran. It didn't pursue. Anything that pursues usually turns back at some point anyway. We hear the charge points going off here, and that exploded. Actually, I remember my teammates saying, DJ, get out of there, that's going to explode. I was like, huh? And I just got the hell out of there. More Protectrons. Now pretty soon we're going to be up against a bit more than this. But again, I can't emphasize enough, it's all skippable. You can sprint. The most important thing of these missions is to get to those transponders, play the message, synchronize, and get to the next. If you've got a reasonable suit of power armor and a few stim packs, you should be fine. Again, I am assuming you're in around the 50 mark. If you're coming here at level 35, I don't know how you're going to fare. I can't guarantee anything. Simply because they seem to be spawning at 50. Now, when enemies scale up to me, they're scaling up to about 68. So if they're spawning at 50, that seems to be more a level thing. This guy here is level 34, for example. He's still tricky enough to take down. There's a 46. Yeah. And what are we at? 48% on the transponder. As I said, we did a lot of messing around here. We did even more messing around when we got into the underground cavern. So much so that I've excluded most of that footage. And as I said, instead I've put in footage of just me running it solo, engaging 0 enemies. Just going from the start, showing you the route to take to get to the final cavern of where you need to be. And I'll tell you when I cut to that footage. So when you get to this base here, Survey Camp Alpha, it's got air defenses. And another point to synchronize and to listen to a transmission. And then you have to ask yourself, I wonder why this camp has an air defense. Well, they serve as a ground defense as well, I grant you, but if you were focusing on just ground, there's a much more you could do. These bad boys, they deal with air. And it's because we're moving into the territory now where we're going to come across Scorch Beasts. And if you're me, you're also going to come across bugs. Bugs. But this game has, I love this game. I'm having so much fun, but it lets me down when I need it the most. Like when I'm holding a workshop and I've set it up perfectly and I've got everything beautiful and I've been carving out this beautiful thing, and just as I finish up, I'll get kicked. When I'm running from a Scorch Beast, that's when it'll mess with my head. That's when it will do it. It's always when I put... there we go, we're going this way. It's when I put myself in some situation like that. This is where it goes wrong for me. So I said I'd leave it there and show you, because if it happens to you, it didn't happen to any of my teammates, but should this happen to you, all is not lost, it seems. And we'll get there momentarily. So when we went into this fight, we didn't go in with the intention of, hey, let's run past everything. We didn't know. We thought we had to kill everything, which is why I have to do a lot of cutting around in these clips. Because what's essentially going to be a 27-minute video, what I'm uploading of this walkthrough, we were there for 2.5 hours. Just stopping in an area, clearing it, cleaning it, checking everything, moving on to the next. So that's why we decided to take on the Scorch Beast, and then we decided not to, because when you actually sit down and you think about it, like I mentioned earlier, it's a lot of effort and a lot of resources for very little, if anything, in the way of a reward. And it's not even a boss level. It doesn't have that crown above its level. So really, what's the point? We're probably getting more from killing these Scorched. Now this place, that's a little embarrassing for me. This place can be a bit of a nightmare. Only in the sense that you're running along, especially in first person, you can tend to miss these little crevasses that appear and you kind of fall down into them. But it happens even in third person as well. So, but anyway, we're moving towards the signal strength. So we have it up now. We were moving from 0. We're up to 3%. Waiting. 18. Made a massive jump there. So we know we're definitely going in roughly the right direction. Now, there's still a lot of Scorched behind us. We still have Scorched Beasts. But just note that we're not engaging. We're just moving forward. And at some point, they won't follow. And that's kind of what you want. So just checking this place out. There was nothing there. We're at 60%. We're going to keep pushing. Yeah, look, we're right inside the circle there. And as you notice, as the circles move with each and every transponder synchronization, you also notice you're getting closer and closer to those fissures in the ground, which is not good. So now we're at drop site Victor 9. So we've got some Scorch there in the building. I'm going to take him out with my little minigun. Pop, 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 pop. Get these all on target and just make mince meat of him. So the guys are playing the next entry. We have a Boss 63 Scorched Conqueror. Again, these are nothing for us. We'll just pull out our super sledges and just beat into them for the most part. I got to go up and get the synchronization. So I'm going to do that now. So far so good. We've got a Scorch Beast again shadowing us here. Got the synchronization done. And it's out to get us. I'm going to give it a shot or two here, and it lands. And I'm thinking, ooh, alright. You know what I have in my arsenal? I have the Daisy Cutter, which is, for all intents and purposes, a fat boy, isn't it? Fat boy launcher. So we're going to hit this with a nuke. I was just curious as to what kind of damage we would do. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But we took that. We looked at that and we thought, I wonder what that looks like multiplied by 2 or 3. But anyway, we didn't engage any further because there's a mission to do and I got bugged out. I mentioned that and we're going to see that momentarily. But hopefully the first 11 minutes have given you an idea of what it's like from starting the quest all the way through the different transponders and what you might face. It doesn't take very long to listen to a message, and you can listen to it while you synchronize this transponder and immediately move to the next location. It's not like you have to sit there and hold a point. And here's where I bugged. So this has happened to me before, but never when I actually needed it not to. My controls are non-responsive. I can move forwards and backwards. I can hold left and I can hold right. I can't pull up my wheel to select anything. Pushing the right on the D-pad does not use a stim pack for me. In fact, I have no way to use a stim pack. Thank God I'm wearing a body armor piece that uses a stim pack when I drop to a certain level. Look, this Scorch Beast is right on me there now. I can't use a stim pack. I can't change weapon. I can't fire this weapon. I can't aim. When I go to sprint, the legs make the animation that I'm sprinting. There's the stim pack in use now. The legs make the animation that I'm sprinting, but I'm not going any faster. And so I'm just dragging along. My body armor is taking some massive damage, but it's still, look at it, it looks fantastic. You gotta love this experimental armor. You really do. Whew. So pretty much what I have to do now, and don't worry, I'm not going to show the whole thing. I just wanted to give you an idea that this can happen, and if it does, all is not lost. Just make sure you have a body piece on. If you happen to have one of those, no matter how low level it is, just that it uses a stim pack when you drop below, say, 20% health or whatever. That's perfect. So I'm going to keep pushing here. Just skip forward a tiny little bit. There we go. Now we're a little closer to our final, well, more or less the final destination. Glassed Cavern. This is the cavern that we're going to go into. The guys, by the way, are like, JJ, come on. Just push in down here. There's going to be cover. And I'm like, I'm coming, guys. Where's the damn cover that I just dropped down there? I'm like, I'm going to drop down here, man. So I drop down there. And then I flip around and I look for some cover. There it is. But yeah, this is Glass Cavern. This is where we will be going in. And this is where I will be cutting away from the footage that I did here with the guys and showing you just a solo run through, just to give you directions from start to end without all the messing around of exploring and whatever. You can either explore at your own leisure. By the way, the bug has now fixed itself. Now, as soon as I get to relative safety, everything's working again. See? But yeah, so when we cut away in a second entering this cavern, yeah, the whole point is if you want to do this solo and not with a team, I want to show you that that is doable. Regardless of if you do it solo or with a team, I just want to show you the fastest route. How to get from the door through here to the end goal, which is the boss. We'll call it the boss cavern. Cool. So this is exactly where we are. Alright, so we're going to head in and cut to a solo run. So as soon as I got inside, straight away I have a 68 Scorched and a 47 Scorched hitting me. I'm not pulling out any weaponry, I'm not going to deal with them. I'm going straight, I'm following the railway track. More Scorched ahead, again ignoring them. You can either go left or right there if you want. There's some ultracite, which is a mineral that you're going to want to take note of. There's also on my right there some ultracite. It's like glowing green. I'll come back to ultracite a little later in the video, but If you are with a team or if you feel comfortable in here, you want to explore and pick up as much as that as possible. If you just want to run through here and get this mission done, stick to the railway line for now. They're hitting me from behind, I don't care, I'm going to keep moving. As soon as I hit the end of this tunnel, I'm hanging a left and immediately a left again. So left into the tunnel and left once I'm inside the tunnel. Keep following the tunnel to the other side. Naturally, I mean, that seems pretty obvious, right? And when you get out, hang a right. Left is a dead end and straight is a dead end. So you're going to hang a right and come up around here on this stairway. Just come around here to the left. Go straight. Just avoid this scorch that wants to kill you. Down here, across these boards, they won't break. And hang a left here and through this opening. Down into the opening we go and up this stairwell. Now when you come through here, there's a door. This requires level 3 to open. I did. There's not much going on in there. Push this button to open this door. The level 3 door, there's like a console and a holotape if you're interested. Push the button, come through the door and take a left. Follow the railway tracks and swap here. So as soon as you come up, swap onto the other railway tracks. So it kind of went straight, it kind of went around. Then stick to this set of railway tracks. If that makes sense. I hope that made sense. Visually, I hope you got it anyway. I realize when I say it back in my head that maybe it didn't so much. Follow the railway tracks. Now switch to this set of railway tracks. But anyway, so we're still following this railway track down. I have yet to pull out a weapon. I've used my first stim pack. Because I'm moving so quickly. Now we're getting closer and closer to the boss chamber. That's when I'm going to switch back to multiplayer footage. So just following this railway track. This is what we call the high road. You can either go below to the right. We could drop down and go that way. Or we can go high road here. Below to the right has a lot more ultra sight. But I just wanted to get through this quickly to show you this area I'm heading into now. Which we're just going to call the boss chamber. Okay? Because it doesn't have a name, I don't think. And if it does, someone let me know in the comments. I'm calling it the boss chamber for now. So, going back to multiplayer footage. We came in, we started taking down the Scorched. Our signal strength is 63. The solution to the signal strength is just up ahead. It's a downed member of the Brotherhood of Steel that also ends this section of the quest and gets you out of the mine. Now, we didn't know this originally when we came in. We started killing everything. There is a boss in here, and we thought, let's kill that as well. So, there it is up there. It's a level 80 Scorch Beast boss. So we thought, okay, 2 out of 3 of us have these mini nukes. Let's hit it with 2 as our opening volley, right? And that should set us up for a good run. So I'm going to use my Psycho Buff. I'm also going to use some bobbleheads. And I'm going to show you why it doesn't matter that I use them, ultimately. So there's one there for energy weapons. So I've used one for explosives, but I also want to use one for energy weapons. Simply because I'll be pulling out my my energy weapons again momentarily as soon as we're done with the boss. Okay, so we get ready. We do a countdown. Tense. And fire. Go. Go. There we go. Now look at that. It's 0 damage. Welcome to the Scorch Beast boss cave, where nothing seems to work as intended. Absolutely nothing. So we thought, let's stay here for a while and let's kill him. So we run back to get a bit of cover, firing missiles. Nothing seems to damage him. I come around the corner here. It's unfair. Look, this guy can fly underground. We can't even hit him when he flies underground. You know how unfair that is? There's an 80 Scorch Beast there. It's a boss. We want to take it, but it's flying underground and its wing doesn't take any damage. So that's frustrating as hell. Very, very frustrating. So we decide, hey, let's take a break. Alright, so just going to have a search around. All these things were already dead when we got here, but they're totally lootable. And then over here, again, if you just come into the boss chamber and follow the railway line, as I'll show you again in a minute. But if you're following the railway track up, it will lead you to the Brotherhood of Steel. I'm going back the wrong direction now because I'm hunting Ultrasight. As I hunt it, look, an invisible boss is dropping this crap on me. Again, I don't have an opportunity to defend myself. It's not an avoidable attack. But yeah, here's the Brotherhood of Steel transponder. Mission marker pointed to it. Yeah. So you gotta sync this transponder as soon as they're done. See how the boss keeps flying at me? Then disappears, magically reappears with full health and flies at me. Disappears, magically reappears with full health and flies at me. Disappears, magically reappears with full health and flies at me. So when you're done, there's a Scorch Fog crawler over here. You can pick some stuff off him, but the mission has updated and it says search Taggarty's remains. I had a problem finding them, it's because I was standing on them. But as soon as I stepped off and looked at the mission marker, came back, turned around, there's Taggarty. Taggarty for me had a Taggarty's ID and all the cool Brotherhood of Steel armor. Now my buddies didn't get as much as I did in terms of the armor, so your miles may vary. But that ID will get us into the last part of Fort Defiance, the very final part. So we need to go to Fort Defiance, but first we thought, hey, let's take on the boss. So we sat here for a few minutes and tried to decide how. I mean, look at that. There's the boss. We've hit it with missiles, we've hit it with guns, we've hit it with nukes, and it has an unfair advantage that it can turn invisible and bomb us from the sky. It can fly under us, and it can keep disappearing and reappearing. That's hardly fair. And missile locks don't even work. I tried a few of these missiles at various points of its flight, and do you know what? We just gave up in the end. So when you're done here, because you don't need to kill anything there, remember, this is where the body was, Taggarty, right here. So you followed the railway line to get to Taggarty. Just continue to follow the railway line. Alright, and ignore everything. Again, this is my solo play. All the way to the end, there's some ultrasight to the left there if you want, but you want to get to this button and hit it, and boom, you are out. You're back to reality. And there we go. We need to go to Fort Defiance. So I'm just going to fast travel over there really quick. And once you're at Fort Defiance, a lot of people tend to hang around and kill everything. When I have a mission to do, you know, the mission takes priority, of course. So I just sprint straight in. We're joining an event there, Line in the Sand. If you haven't done that, it's actually quite an enjoyable event. I really like it. It involves Scorch Beasts. But for now, we just want to get inside, so I just typically ignore everything, like I did in my solo walkthrough. I know that power armor can take it. And we go in the door. Once inside, we gotta head up via the elevator. So you've been here before, so you know how it works. I hope you have. If not, check out my previous videos. In fact, you shouldn't even be doing this mission if you haven't been here before, so let's not worry about that. So we're going to go over to the elevator and just head upstairs to the 4th level. Now there is a part in the 4th level that we previously weren't able to access. It had one of those red shields up, but now that we got that card from Taggarty, I think her name was Taggarty. Look, there's a Wendigo when we got here. Now I don't know if that's always going to be the case or we were just unlucky. I mean, we were saying how it took us so long to access the 4th floor that we had to go and join the army and get special IDs or whatever. How the hell did a Wendigo get up here? And Scorched get up here too. It's incredible. Anyway, getting slightly off topic there. So yeah, we come up to the 4th floor and there was a part here that we couldn't previously access. We're going to go in there now. So it's through there on the left, on my left, and then left again. And we can get in here now. And we need to access the computer terminal to finish up. My colleague is currently accessing it, so I'm just having a look around. On the table here is a plan for the artillery, in case you're interested. There's also a holotape here, Elder Maxon's final thought. Or hang on, I didn't read it entirely. Up we go. I gotta start storing some of these. Final conversation. So we'll let that play away, and then you go on the computer and you just start reading through all of this, or not. I fly through it for the purposes of videos. Normally I skip it, but because there's a part here that updates the quest, its ultimate solution. And the photo mode feature unlocked, photo frame the Brotherhood, and we got combat armor left arm. Cool. Now I'm just going to click in and out of the rest, just to see if it triggers anything else or updates my map with any new location. I can always come back and read them later by just looking at my own footage and freezing. So, handy. Whew. Alright, so this has been a long run so far, right? Oh, did I click in there already? No. 2, Add Victoria. There's for Defiance.
I'm not thinking about some far-off future, Elder. I'm worried about today.
Alright, so quest complete, Belly of the Beast. We are done with the Brotherhood of Steel quest chain. At least the main one, at least for now. I can't seem to find anything else. Our reward. Here we go. Item reward. Power armor chassis. And we also get a plan for a minigun. Now, it says power armor chassis, but the thing is, it's not just the chassis. It's the complete set of ultrasight power armor. Let me show you. This is everyone's reward, by the way. Everyone on my team got it. Therefore, I assume everyone gets this. Now, honest to God, that looks beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. It is fantastic. Now, not all the pieces are at 100%. It needs a bit of repair. It is going to need a bit of repair work. Let's put it in the power armor workstation here. And just have a look. So you see there is a bit of damage done to quite some of the bits. I don't have any other paints I can apply to it yet. So we're just going to check repair costs. And yes, repairs cost ultrasight. Quite a lot of ultrasight, actually. And ultrasight is that stuff I was saying inside of the cavern that we just ran through that you can pick up. So you can do more runs through there as you're confident and pick up the ultrasight and deal with your ultrasight power armor. How awesome is that? Anyway, guys, I really hope you found this some bit useful. If you did, please do hit that like button and like the video. It is a small act to you, but means the world to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, consider a subscription. Just hit my logo there in the center of your screen now. Thank you so much as always, and until next time, take it easy. All the best.